So according to research by Sheffield University, where is the most miserable place in Britain? It's Edinburgh.
That was absolutely hilarious. When we just heard that, where is the most miserable place in the country? Everybody goes, Manchester! No, Edinburgh is the most miserable place in the UK. You'll be pleased to hear, Terry. That's according to research from the University of Sheffield. Manchester, home of Morrissey, turns out to be the second happiest place in the country after the area of Powys in Wales, of all things.
Never been there.
You're watching The Right Stuff, of course, live on 5 this Thursday morning with Yasmin Ali-Brown, Terry Christian and Claire Sweeney. But first, why do we love being so damn miserable? A new survey of 25 countries suggests that we have the gloomiest outlook on the planet as far as our economy goes. That's hardly a big shock for a nation that gave the world Morrissey, Goths, the Sisters of Mercy, The Cure. We love Victor Meldrew. Shakespeare, our greatest playwright, gave us Hamlet, a more miserable, self-indulgent loser you'd be hard-pressed to find in literature anywhere. But why do we revel in all this gloom? I mean, it's a fascinating question. I would like to think it's something to do with the weather. I mean, you can hardly imagine Morrissey handing out gladioli and crooning about the Moors' murders while dancing on a beach in Marbella. Could it be our genes? Because a psychologist the other day claimed that there is such a thing as a misery gene, so that has to be a possibility. Maybe it's got something to do with our habit of not showing our feelings, maintaining that stiff upper lip, and that all that repression is bound to affect our national psyche in the end, don't you think? Terry, you're a Manc. Why are we so miserable?
What, down in London?
Oh, no!
Yes. I actually do think that a lot of it is, you know, a lot of this research we'll be talking about down here. I'm sorry, because I don't actually think we are. And Morrissey and the Smiths, and I had this conversation with the late John Peel. The Smiths, the lyrics are really funny, and a lot of Morrissey's lyrics are very ironic.
It's ironic.
Yes.
Very funny.
But when you come over the Pennine Way and you see the grey clouds hanging over grey Manchester...
Oh, unlike sunny London.
Well, OK. OK.
Yeah, grey Manchester.
Do you think, though, that... I mean, if you think about Hamlet and, you know, this great study...
Hamlet was Danish.
Yeah, but it was written by our greatest playwright, and there was a whole school of plays that were sort of into this idea of sort of misery and self-indulgence. Do you think it could be the weather?
I think what it is certainly, and it's scary, this, for a Labour government, is the lack of social mobility. So people don't have as much hope nowadays. So
you think the economy is relevant?
I actually think we all get ripped off in Britain, don't we? We pay through the nose for everything. Things that you get cheaper elsewhere. We pay so much tax. The only hobby you can afford over here is to go out and have a drink. You know, in fact, I remember working in LA years ago, and there was about 250,000 British expats, a lot of them illegal, in LA County, and talk to these American girls, and I said to one of them, well, why do you think the British drink so much and take so many drugs? And she said, because you have no life over there.
That's
and
nice.
The truth is, if you work full-time in this country, by the time you paid your bills, your mortgage, everything else, you've got nothing left.
But I also believe in life you have radiators and drainers, and if you surround yourself by negative people...
I thought you were talking about plumbing.
No, we were talking about this before, and you might not want to mention names, do you know? Ooh. But we were talking before about...
Bill Clinton, forget it.
You can't top that, can you, babes? But, you know, I know if I've got one friend who's miserable. Oh, she drained the life out of me, you know. And I kind of stopped myself, you know, spending too much time with her because it drags you down. It's what you were talking about in Big Brother. There was one particular person in there who was rather miserable. And she brought the whole...
He or she.
He or she. Go on, Terry.
But well, first of all, I hope you know how many Londoners are moving up to Manchester very soon.
No, we've got enough there.
And so the misery,
right.
if you think... I think we're happier than we think we are. Actually.
Do you think we're happy being miserable? I think we revel in it, that we actually celebrate it.
I do think, actually, we exaggerate the misery, you know, for whatever reason. But actually, many of us are really enjoying this period. You know, I've met so many people in the last couple of months saying, actually, you know what, it's quite good. It's quite good that we're not doing the wild things we were doing. Actually, feeling happy with what you've got. That's something we lost over the last 10 years. And it's, well, it's not just... Well, if you went out and bought your 3 houses, you know, well, tough luck.
Unless, of course, you're getting them paid by the taxpayers.
But it was very, very
yeah.
interesting. I mean, I think yesterday there was one of these grand design programs where they build these big houses and it all went very badly wrong. And at the end of it, the couple actually really did go badly wrong. They said, oh, well, you know, maybe greed is out. You know, actually, we're quite happy with what we've got. And I think there is that.
I was stuck on the the tube yesterday because somebody committed suicide on the line. And
How dare they?
Well, it's not that, but that's the thing, isn't it? You hear that, and right away you're thinking, oh no, not my tube. So it's almost like it hardens your heart.
Yeah.
But that has got
Yes,
to be the
it's true.
ultimate misanthropic gesture, hasn't it? Like, you hate the human race. Not only am I going to top myself, I'm going to make everybody late.
Don't you love him? Let's throw it over to you. Heaven knows we're miserable now, but why, Amy?
Okay, we're going to start with Rachel on line 1.
Rachel, good morning.
Hi.
Hi, are you a misery guts?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Why? Why are you so miserable?
I just think it's to do with just the world that we live in at the minute. You go on, you turn TV on, everything's miserable. The news, you know, one
EastEnders.
person's been stabbed, you know, and it is so sad and it's horrible. But the trouble is, it's all over the place at the minute. You just can't help it.
So you think the media's got a big part to play?
I think it has, but, you know, like soaps as well. You were talking the other day about, you know, the whole thing with Danielle. And
Yeah.
I just think, you know, if it's not EastEnders, it's Coronation Street, it's then Emmerdale, you know, the weddings don't happen. And, you know, what do they want us to believe? You know, they want us to be happy, but at the same time, we're just ploughed constantly with things that, you know, are upsetting or, you know, make us want to give money. And,
I'd
you
love
know,
a
we
night out
can't
with
be
you,
upbeat
Rachel.
about it.
Are you a goth, Rachel?
No, I'm not.
Just wanted to
honestly,
check.
No, I'm not.
No, I just want to check, that's all. It's no problem if you were. I love everybody. Kind of. Rachel, thank you. Let's have another.
All right, we're going to go to Lee on line 2.
Lee, good morning. Morning, Lee.
Hello, Matthew.
Hello, mate. So are you a misery guts?
What are you joking? Well, I only got to look at you and Terry, and that cheers me up. Well, let's get real, you know what I mean?
Do you
No,
think...
but-
I mean, do you, when you look at goths, all sort of, you know, can't possibly swap. I mean, do you find there's a certain irony to our misery?
Well, no, they've got their own happiness, haven't they, you know? Like, everyone's got their inner happiness, you know what I mean? Some people just don't express it, that's all. You know, like, when I see people miserable, I try and cheer them up.
Good.
That's
I
what
can
it's about.
tell.
I go through life being a misog. You're a long time dead, mate.
Hey, totally.
Right, I'll give you an example.
Go on.
My ex-missus, she woke up one morning with a right bad headache. I rubbed her down with two £50 notes, biggest smile in the world.
Aww.
You know what I mean? Money talks.
Yeah. Clearly. Thank you, Lee. Thank you.
You want misery, go to Finland. There is miserable. My God.
The Scandinavians
dark.
are.
Oh, so with Norway, it's to do with the light,
Don't
isn't it?
even
and
get
the-
me started
Yeah.
on Sweden. I did a camping holiday there, worst holiday of my life. It rained every day. I was in a canoe. We ran out of water. We walked 10k to this farm, knocked on this woman's door. Can we have some water? No, get your own. Slam the door. And for that reason, I'll never forgive Sweden. That one incident, the most miserable country in the world. OK, folks, after the ads...